Welcome all of you beautiful people that are watching live. It's good to see your faces. See some faces I've not seen before and some faces that we see a lot. So beautiful to see you all. Welcome. I can't remember what number this. I should sort of write it down, but we've been doing this for quite a few years now. We've had many speakers, and we've got two amazing speakers again tonight. We've got Casca and Draca, and the names are very close together, aren't they? And they've had a nice chat beforehand. They've just met, which is beautiful. And there are spaces still for people that if you want to come and talk on these things, you don't have to talk for an hour. If you want to come on and share, I keep saying to that, but nobody's been brave enough. If you want to share for 5 minutes your story, then please do. It's not, you don't have to be like an international speaker. Some people, it's their first time on here, and it gives them the confidence, and that's what we're here to do, to allow you to spread your story, whether it's a very simple story to an amazing, powerful one where you're in charge of 5 billion dragons or whatever it is. We don't judge. Whatever, there's no levels within dragons. We're all the same. Anyway, so welcome. We were just saying it's June. Can you believe it's June? What happened? June? I just finished unwrapping Christmas presents. It feels like that. It's mad, isn't it? It got so fast. Anyway, so I'm sure tonight will go very fast as well. So our first speaker today is Casca Graham, and she's normally in England, in Essex, and I've got a little spiel here. She's a powerhouse of dragon energy, a multi-dimensional shamanic healer based in Essex in England. Normally, she works deeply with the Akashic Records and is the founder of the Casca Graham Academy. The dragons first came to her in 2018. Wow, that's quite a while ago. And then since then, she's been riding the wave. Certainly is a wave of Dragon Reiki energy and channeling their wisdom and helping others do the same. And I've always seen her out there sharing that. It warms my heart. Currently she's in South Africa, and she's going to share some of that story with us. And so welcome, and it's good to see you.
Oh, thank you so much, Kev. It's so beautiful to be here. And for anybody that wasn't here earlier when Kev and I were chatting, we were together here on this platform exactly 6 months ago. And I was just about to launch my second book, which is the Akashic Records and Dragon Medicine. And I launched that book in January, on the 11th of January, which is 111, which is my birthday. And, you know, for those of you that don't know me, I'm not going to give you a whole big spiel on the past, because I really want to share what's taken place in the last 2 weeks of me being in South Africa. You can probably hear in my accent, I am actually South African. I was born here and I lived in South Africa until I was 18. And then I had a soul calling. It was actually the energy of Stonehenge calling me to go to the UK. And I've been in the UK for 27 years. And my whole family still live in South Africa, apart from an uncle, which lives in Bournemouth. The dragons came to me in 2018, and I have been very blessed and very lucky on this journey. I have taught in Iceland, I've taught in America, and I have my online academy and my face-to-face academy in the UK. So the students that come through and the clients that come through are international, and the dragons told me it was going to be like this, and they just said that it would just be like this connection all over the world, and they showed it to me very clearly. But really, it wasn't until not too long ago when somebody introduced me to Kevin that I realized how many other dragon people there were in the world. And it was just incredible to see that. And from that moment, Dragon Thunder's created this community where we've all been able to grow even more as we've connected to each other. So it's been amazing. It's been absolutely amazing. So the last few years for me have just been dragons, and unicorns. The unicorns have been coming through massively for me. I have created my own intricate version of Dragon Reiki. I'm not the founder of it, but it is my own intricate version, and I worked very closely with the dragons to create that modality. So the lineage is very specific to the way that I teach. And I have now done the same with the unicorns. I've only worked with the unicorns to create level 1, level 2, which is very different to the Dragon Reiki, because the Dragon Reiki, the level 1 and level 2 is together. Those two attunements, or there's more than two, are together. So you're integrating quite a lot over 2 sessions, where the unicorns were like, no, we need to work very differently. You need to do one separately, because there's such a high vibrational frequency coming in that they want that self-healing and that attunement to the energy to really be integrated before people are moving on and working on others with the energy. So I've recently completed the level 2. Mind-blowing. And I've attuned for the level 2, I think I've attuned it's 9 people, and all of us are just going through some really intense shifts. And when I return from South Africa, I'm going to be working on the level 3, which is very much to do with, it's going further than the 12th strand DNA, which is part of the 2. It's to working with the Kundalini energy and the intricate layer, more of the intricate layers of the soul. It's mind-blowing. But what's so beautiful is that the dragons, they have really stood back and allowed this unicorn energy to come through, but they have supported it so wholeheartedly as well. So the blending of these 2 frequencies is just, it's absolutely insane. And that's what this year has really looked like for me. It's integrating this unicorn energy in such a big way, and carrying on working with the dragons the way that I work with them in the Akashics. At the same time, my soul has had to heal, because, as you know, you cannot do the work unless you are doing the work. So the last 6 months has just been like really mind-blowing. It's been mind-blowing. And I, really, honestly, Kev, there are no words to explain the shifts that have been taking place. And we all know what the last few years have been like, but the last 6 months, insane. So, I booked, it was a really long time coming to come back to South Africa and be with my family. My mom hasn't been very well. She's got very big issues with her eyesight at the moment. And I've had to really wait until the time was right to come out and see her, because I've had to bring the kids, and it's 28 hours of travel with a 3-year-old and an 11-year-old. It's a lot. And, but I was just like, boom, I'm doing it. I booked the tickets in March, and it was all really like, when everything is aligned, I managed to get a really good deal on prices, because over Christmas I was looking at like $6,000 for the 3 of us to fly. And I was like, it's just too much. And you have the issues of taking your kids out of school in the UK and just all the nonsense that goes with everything. But this just worked out really well. I got really good tickets. And then a few weeks leading up to the trip, the dragons started saying, hello, there's some big things coming for you in South Africa. And I feel really emotional talking about it, because I haven't even had a chance to think, because the last 3 weeks have just been crazy. But I was feeling these shifts already starting to happen, as the build up to the trip started to take place. The week before we left, realized my son's passport wasn't in the validity to fly. So instead of me being organized and doing everything nicely leading up to flying, I was in a mad panic, because I had to get an emergency passport for my son. Went up to London to get a passport. As they were about to print it, all the systems went down nationally. The dragons just kept saying, trust, trust, ground, ground, trust, trust, ground, ground. The day before we flew, I got a phone call from the passport office to say you can come back up to London to come and get the passport. So I got the passport at 4 p.m. and I was flying 11 a.m. the next day. I hadn't even packed, because I couldn't get my head around that. My brain doesn't work like that. Everything has to be, so I hadn't even packed. Got to the airport. It's all just been a lot. And then as soon as I got here, I had a massive purge. like a massive, massive purge. I couldn't even get my head off the pillow. My mom didn't even know what to do with me. And then as soon as I felt like I was just purging a lot. And then as I started to come right, this huge, big, ancient dragon appeared, this golden black dragon. And I was sitting in my mom's garden, and she overlooks the mountain. And he was humongous, and he was really ancient, and he came down and he came right up to me, and he put his face right up, and his voice was like unlike any dragon voice I've ever heard. And his name was Archimedes. And he came here. Oh, actually, I'm sorry, I need to backtrack. When I got off the plane, the drive here, it's a 3-hour drive to get into the Kamdabur, into the Karoo, into the desert. And this is a really important bit. I can't believe I forgot it. As we got into the mountain range, and there is nothing, it's just mountains and African terrain. As we got in there, these huge dragons started to reveal themselves to me. But, and I've got goosebumps even thinking about the power of it. They knew I was coming. And the energy of them coming next to the car and looking down through the mountains and coming, they were revealing themselves. But what some of them were showing me was, you have no idea how big we are. And I was like, wow. So the whole way driving for those 3 hours was just this like union, this like reconnection to my roots. But I'd never connected to the dragons here. And it was like, we knew you were coming, but we're kind of keeping a bit of a, we're holding back. We want you just to see what you're dealing with here. So I had that. Then just moving on to Archimedes. Then Archimedes came down, and he basically said to me, the dragons are very restless. They're not very happy right now. We're waiting to talk to you. There's stuff going on here with these lands, and we need to communicate with you. And that was that. He moved back. And then I had a few days, family coming, all just like crazy. Haven't seen people for long time, nieces, nephews, everybody really, really busy. Listen to how funny this is. I get into the shower, and I was thinking, I've got to do a bit of work. I get into the shower and I look, and there's a razor with a black and gold dragon on it. And I was like, that wasn't there before. And I said to my sister, what is that? She went, oh no, it was just delivered today. And I knew that he was saying, you've got to come and speak to me. So I was like, okay, I started to get the feeling that there was something going on with the actual land. Now, here's the really fascinating thing. My sister is an amazing woman. She's 11 years older than me, and she is cabinet minister. Okay, she has got a very important job here, and she's in charge of electricity. And if any of you know, in South Africa at the moment, there are some really big issues with power outages and electricity, and they've got load shedding. And her role, she is literally she is the light worker of this whole country. We are very, very different in the way that we are. She is much more academic, and she's not as spiritual as me, but we're both doing this light work in our own way. So she's been here, and I told her about Archimedes, and she believes it because she believes in me, but it's not. It's really out there, okay, for her, and she told me that there's a real big issue now with fracking in this land. Okay. I was like, wow, okay. And then my cousin who lives in Cape Town, he is incredibly spiritual. I told him about Archimedes, and he said, well, there's a thing called the Archimedes screw, which is a real natural hyaluronic way of getting energy up, which is ancient. But I was like, wow, okay. Then yesterday, I was like, right, it's time to go and channel. It's time to really, really, really go and channel. And I connected, and then it started to flow. And the dragons are very unhappy because they told me that within these lands here in the Kamdabur, there is a thing called the Cathilleris. Okay, and they told me to share this tonight. There is a thing called the Cathilleris, and the Cathilleris is like a sacred vein. They are sacred veins of the entire earth. Okay, and this energy, it's like the golden elixir of the earth. We know that Africa is precious, we know that, but this is like the golden elixir, and their message is so clear that the Cathilleris cannot be tampered with. It cannot be tampered with, because not only will the fracking damage the earth, okay, if the Cathilleris gets damaged, spiritually, what will happen to the land is absolutely disastrous. Okay, energetically, psychically, and spiritually, it is like a catastrophe. And I channeled this all day yesterday. I was like, wow, okay. And the Cathilleris is it's like sacred light. It's the veins of Gaia. And they cannot, and what they were showing me was like this golden web, and they cannot be like moved. And they said exactly what you said tonight, Kev. They said there are certain dragon workers that are now being placed around the world to do this work, and it's been part of our mission. And there are light bearers that we will bring together to work on these lands. So then today I went right up into a place called the Valley of Desolation, and I climbed onto a really big rock, and I did some more channeling, and it was absolutely incredible. I brought in the earth dragons, and I brought in the unicorns as well. And the whole time I had this Khoisan ancestral tribesman just standing in front of me, and he was working with me. As I got to the land, I was given an initiation. I had this pure white cross just being put across my third eye and down into my throat chakra. And then I completely opened up, and I just had this ancient tribesman working with me. And the sky was clear. There was not a drop of air. And as soon as I started to call in the air dragons, this wind just picked up, and I just started to channel the energy. And I worked with the unicorns, and we pulled light down into the grids. And we did some powerful work. I called in the earth dragons. I worked closely with an earth dragon called Renzi. He is always there. And we did some really powerful work. But here's the most beautiful bit. Leading up to the Valley of Desolation were two massive old baboons that came onto the road. And for those of you that understand the power of animals, you will know that the baboons represent the ancestors. They represent so much. And these two were so old, they came down. And the first place that I went to, I sat, and there was a troop of baboons on one side, and they're very dangerous. You see a baboon, you got to get out of the way. They don't mess around. But they make a noise. It's like, oh, oh. And I was sitting in the mountains overlooking this water. I love baboons. They are like one of my soul animals. And the two tribes of baboons were just like talking to each other, and it was echoing into the mountain. I could feel it in my soul. And then as we drove up the mountain, we came back in the car. As we drove back up the mountain, you will never see this at this time of day, was a massive kudu. a massive kudu just standing, and it was a female, and she stood on the mountain with her whole silhouette. And I was with my step nephew, he was driving me, and even he was like, I can't believe we're seeing that. And I was like, I know what's going on here. I know what's taking place here. This energy now is so, so, so strong. And that has been my experience of being here. And I honestly, this is when I sent when I did the channeling yesterday, I was recording myself channeling, and I sent it to my sister. And part of the channeling actually says there's a bearer of light who is going to be an important part of this mission. And one of the main people that's part of this mission to stop the fracking in this area is a man called Derek Light. And I just thought, you know, with all of this, I had no idea, okay, what was going to be coming. And do you know, the other thing that is so crazy is that for the past 2 years, the dragons have been showing me working with people. And I do this anyway. You know, I have monthly events where we do breath work and we call in the dragons, and it's very raw. But they've been saying to me for a really long time, you need to be closer to the land when you're working with people, okay? It doesn't need... And I hope this doesn't offend anybody. What they've said to me is the retreats don't need to be glamorous. They don't need to be 5-star hotels. They don't need what you need to be close to the earth, and you need to be on the land, and it needs to be raw, and it needs to be you and your drum and your voice. Okay. And that's it. And you need to be working with the dragons and working with the energy and helping people really clear. And when I work with the ancestors, I can hear them. They go, whenever they start coming near. So I know when that energy is here. And this is the really crazy thing. We went to a farm, which is not too far from here, and that place is there. It's these little huts with nothing. You could probably put a tent up in the daytime. They're all wild animals around you, you know, and people. And I was like, this is where people need to be coming. We need to be bringing people back here to Africa, to be feeling that natural energy with, and you've just got all these mountains all the way around you. The sunsets are red. There are birds everywhere. It is raw. It is natural. And this is what we need to be doing. You know, there's this whole spiritual movement is now creating these like glamorous retreats where it's like, and I'm not saying that they're bad, but we've got to remember here, we are part of the earth. And if we really want to heal and we really want to do this work and we want to connect to nature, we don't need all that bullshit. We need to be working with the earth, and we need to be working with somebody that knows how to facilitate those energies. And the dragons have been telling me this now for like the last 2 years. And now coming here, it was like this crescendo. It's like, if we want to heal, we've got to get back to basics. We don't need all this fancy stuff. We need to be raw, and we need to understand that we are one with Gaia. We are one with Gaia. And as we are healing, she is healing, and vice versa. And that is it. So I've had to really, my eyes have welled up so many times while I've been talking to all of you, because the dragons were so adamant that this was the right timing for me to come here and speak about this and this mission. I've shared nothing on social media because I haven't even been able to comprehend with all of that. It's just, this is the first time that I'm sharing this. And these have been flippin' powerful 2 weeks. The purge that I had was on another level. It was on another level, and it needed to happen. It was like you're having to purge to be able to deal with what's about to come. And I had no idea. And honestly, Kev, I get on a plane on Sunday and I don't know what the fuck is going to happen when I get back to England because this energy is so powerful. And I'm just going to be like, woof, you know, I feel so in the present moment here in Africa right now. Anywhere else just seems like, whoa, you know, it's been really, really powerful, really, really, really powerful. And I'm so happy I got to share this with all of you tonight. I really am. Yeah, thank you.
It's a beautiful story. I think everyone's sitting here with chills and going, wow, wow, wow. And I agree with what you're saying, though. A lot of these retreats are a bit highbrow, aren't they? And that there's not real connection to the land or the rest of it. I think if you put a sign up page now, we'd all sign up and we'd be coming to Africa. I'll just put that in there. I'm coming now.
I know, that's why I've been thinking about you. And do you know what? Like this place, which is, it's just so raw. You know, I met the man that owns the farm, and he grows saffron. He grows
Yep.
saffron, and it's really small. And he shares the knowledge of of that plant medicine and how powerful it is. And you know, he is such a beautiful, humble man. And I went to his farm. He's got these two beautiful dogs. There's frogs swimming around his swimming pool. My children were holding the frogs. They got to feed a baby lamb, and he went, this is it, this is me. And I looked around his whole farm, and there's just mountains after mountains after mountains. And he said to me, I'm completely off grid here. I need nothing more. And we went down to where people can come and stay, and he was just like, this is it. And I thought, this is so real. This is so real. And yet I was meant to see it. I was meant to see it because I really feel like people need to come here and do dragon work. And at the same time, they need to be connecting here, because South Africa is the solar plexus of our earth. And there is so much that takes place here. And the land here is so beautiful. It's breathtakingly beautiful. And to be that raw whilst you're healing, and to feel the energy of the ancestors here, it is so strong. It is so, so, so strong. I couldn't bring my drum. I couldn't fit it in my bag. And I was like, what am I going to do? Like, I love my drum. You're probably the same, Kev. Like,
Yep.
you know, where I love to connect with that. But I haven't even needed that, because that hum of the ancestors, that that has been my ongoing drum since I've got to Africa. I haven't even needed a drum. It's just, it's really, it's just powerful. It's really, really powerful. And I have no idea, as I said, what the next steps are, but this is what the last 2 weeks have looked like. And yeah, it's time to get raw, and it's time to get real. And we've got big work to do with ourselves and with the earth. And the dragons cannot do this work without us. They can't do it on their own, otherwise it would be done. This is, we have to work with them. They hold the knowledge. You know, they hold the knowledge, they hold the keys, they hold the codes. And this is what they were saying to me yesterday. Like, we need people that can channel this energy. That they cannot do it without us. It is a two-way, it's a two-way street. You know, it's the only way. And it's very powerful, very, very powerful.
That's beautiful. There's a lot of comments in here. There's some. Yeah, Naomi says she wants to run retreats like that where you get back to nature, especially for men's mental health.
Oh, 100%.
And then so was that? I can't say it. Isisi, if I'm saying that wrong. Sorry. I have a deep connection to South Africa. Mother was born there. Yep. Someone's talking about the white lions. Yeah.
Oh, yes. And my friend, my friend is very involved with the White Lions. She's one of the founders of it, the White Lion Project. So yeah, I mean, and she also works very much with the baboons as well. She's one of the most incredible animal communicators in the world. Yeah.
Yeah, and Christina's saying she's got a connection to Africa and talking about the energy of the soul there. Yeah, as we were saying at the beginning of this, I'm seeing a lot of people popping in certain places, and the energy is powerful there. And I think there is it's Caroline was saying about it. There's like a grid work that was probably always there, and it just being reawakened. And I
Yeah.
think we're all getting called back to the country we were born in. I'm seeing people that were in Australia going back to France and opening up retreats there. I've seen other people that were born over here and they went to Australia and they're going back to Italy. And I'm seeing people being called to their homelands to, because
Yeah.
it's in your DNA, it's in your blood, isn't it? I often feel, oh, I got a connection here, got a connection there. I've been to Peru, but when I'm on the land, or I'm on Dartmoor, when I'm in, the England where I am born and bred, I feel the most strength. But I do love going to Peru, and I'd love to go to South
Yeah.
Africa. It sounds
Yeah.
absolutely amazing, and I think you can go to these places and bring back some of that connection. And I think that's what a lot of us are doing. We're going all over the world, but we're bringing it back and creating a powerful grid work. I mean, where
Yeah.
you're speaking is so passionate. It sounds amazing. That
Yeah.
can just imagine the
It
baboons
is,
running around and
yeah, they're the most incredible animals. And if for if you want to know exactly where I am and you want to do some research on this, type in the Kamdeboo. So it's Camdeboo, the Kamdeboo Mountains in the Karoo, and it's Karoo. Do some research and have a look. The town where I'm staying now, which is where my family are, is Graaf Reinet. It's Graafreinettete, I think. And this is like an old architectural town as well. So, I mean, it's literally at the foot of the mountain, and the architecture is just incredible. It looks almost fake because it's so old, and so beautiful. So that there's a lot of history here, and that's what the dragons were saying as well. They were like, there is so much history, and they were saying the ancient tribes, they knew about the Cathilleris. I tried to do research on it. I couldn't find anything until I went really, really, really deep. And, and they're like, the Cathilleris is like the ancient tribes knew about it, but it's one of the things that we have become very disconnected from, like many others, because by working with the Cathilleris and working with Gaia closely, that's a powerful place to be. It's a powerful place to be. So disconnection was something that was, enforced. So the ancient tribes, what I really want to try and do, and it was my mom that suggested it, was to go and find one of the leaders of the Khoisan, which is one of the tribes here, and go and speak to them and ask them about the Cathilleris and spend time with them as a tribe and understand their connection. I might have to come back and do that, even if I just forge that connection now, and then come back and do something like that. But to understand their relationship to Gaia, and why they are so anti-fracking as well. Yeah, I mean, fracking is just like, whoa. when you really understand that, it's like, I can't even comprehend how people could think something like that would be all right, because it's really not. It's very intrusive. Yeah, that connection to the land is important, and it's who we are.
so true. And I noticed that many of the mountain ranges and the land have dragons in them. So if they're fracking, then they're probably fracking into a huge big dragon, aren't they, as well?
Exactly. I mean, it's not good. I did some more research on fracking, because I remember they were trying to do it in England for a while, and
They were.
we were like, yeah, we were trying to stop all that, and but then I really thought, like, this is a really, really, really intrusive way of messing with Gaia. It's not the way forward. It's 100% not the way forward. And now, the dragons confirmed that for me, what they told me. I was like, whoa, they know. And the messages were so clear. They cannot do it, because with that Cathilleris is tampered with, the outcome of that is just like disastrous.
Well, it's like somebody tapping into your main artery, isn't it? Yeah.
Exactly that. That's kind of what I was seeing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, if somebody was trying to do that to you, you'd fight back, and I'm sure Gaia has a way of fighting back.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they
Yeah.
better watch out. But yeah.
Mm.
Whew. Anyone got any questions for Casca? Licia? Yeah.
Hi there.
Hello.
Hi, Lucia.
Hi. It's so nice to hear you talk about this. I I have a bit a weird one. Last year, my dragons came in different ways, and first of all, the green dragon came true, and the green dragon told me that I had to do something in Africa and something for
Wow.
the earth, and I was like, "What? Where the heck do I start?" Uh,
Wow.
well, it doesn't. A lot happened, and I'm one of the parts that what I found out is that an old aspect of me was a medicine woman
Wow.
who was in Africa, but then in the time when the Dutch came and a lot of the slavery stuff came, she
Yeah.
hid a lot of information into the earth,
Wow.
and that it is time to bring it back up at the moment.
Love this.
I get goosebumps now. So
Yeah, me too. Me too.
and the thing is, it's like my mental part is like, what are you telling me? What do I have to do with this? And I don't know why I'm telling this now, but I'm just dropping it out because there's so many things. I work a lot with the divine feminine,
Yeah,
and
wow.
there are many dragons coming up, but for especially the original forms also of Gaia, Earth, is
Yeah.
now raising. And they explained me before how the lane lies, how the energy points in the earth, all the different points have to be awakened. But actually, it is all this information in all this point is on how to be unity, how to embody unity. A lot of people think about, oh, we're gonna embody a lot of light, but light is always information on how to embody unity. And when
Yeah.
the energies came onto Earth, there were many disinterpretations of what to do with these energies. And
Wow.
it was a whole learning cycle. And the time now is kind of full circle to
Yes.
understand what we have to do with the original energy without interpretation, the divine
Wow.
energy, divine feminine to receive all the energies, and the divine masculine to manifest it, but not with the ego, but
Yeah.
connecting to the divine truth, to
Yeah.
what I call unity.
This is beautiful. Wow. This is amazing. Do you know what? I'm so happy that we've connected. I really am, because so much of what you were saying, I was really resonating with. And the dragons have told me about that sacred knowledge being buried by so
Mm.
many of the ancient, like, forefathers of our land, and that they know that. When I first started to work with the dragons, that was what they first said. They said there is so much knowledge that has been buried and hidden in the earth, and it's time for that to come up. And because I work in the Akashics, the whole process is people are reawakening to who they are at soul level, okay, and remembering that, and to then retrieve that knowledge, because it hasn't gone anywhere. It hasn't been
It
lost.
hasn't come. It is in another dimension, and
Exactly.
they couldn't reach the one in the lower frequencies couldn't hide it. But we have to rise up, and that's and what's happening everywhere. We're all moving into these higher frequencies,
Yeah.
and in getting the other higher awareness, but landing it onto Earth to get it back again. And
Yeah.
I feel here there's something. na yuna kawan yikayana. Kina uwan yikamna. Kiramna han yuna kaykuata yakana kakakakwata.
Oof. I felt that. Oof.
Indeed. That was, wow.
Thank you for receiving.
Thank you for sharing.
You're making me cry.
We're going for the truth here. And my mission is to go for nothing else except the complete honest truth.
Yeah.
The truth, I'm working with all forms of unity, going to the true essence of all the energies where everything of unity comes together and where all the energies can be. And one of the parts that I work with is the dragon energy that has been interpreted in a way where, there's so much there, but to make it small, I'm working on flipping the awareness of the dragon energy, where the energy is love in how we see love, but then in a higher frequency. And it's kind of, sometimes it's hard because I'm working also on all the misinterpretations, and there's a lot of resistance in humanity. But they came through this week, the Draconians actually, they said, we're embodying the truth and we're not going out of the way. It doesn't matter how it's interpreted. We stand in our truth. No matter. That was my personal journey, because I always defined with the reaction of others when they were mirrored the truth. And I felt really like I wanted to make myself small, but that's for me. No. This is also new. I just stepped into a group that I don't know. I work most of the time behind the scenes.
Yeah.
But they told me now a few times that it's time to go more out in the open and to work on the Earth and the other planets also.
Yeah, I love this. I absolutely love this. This is such powerful work. And you know, the dragons are all about unity. They really are.
It is. Yeah, but that's the thing. That's the thing that it's so crazy that a lot of interpretation is that they carry danger, but they carry this higher form of unity that we are getting ready for. And I don't know. When you go into a dragon's heart, I sometimes go in there and I lie in the dragon's heart, then there's so much love. It's just
so much.
It's just love. And the interpretation, oh man, it's not for now, because I can talk too long for it, and I didn't want to take your space, but somehow I was like pushed.
No, I'm so glad
into that.
So glad. It's so beautiful to connect with you. It really is. And you know, I know obviously we need to move on, but I wanted to just say something to you as well. You know, after my years of working with the dragons, they've started to show me now that the way that they work and the way that they help us heal is with fractals. And so now when the unicorns are with spirals and the dragons are with fractals. And when I'm working on myself and with clients or with the land, when you connect to the energy and you start to see the fractals of somebody that you want to work on, when there's areas of disease, the fractals aren't They're not working properly. They're not moving properly. And when you invite the dragons to come in and bring in their energy, what they do is they bring in that fractal energy, and they then work with those fractals to start to transmute them. And that's how they start to work with the disease of the fractals. And it's about this, it's about bringing in unity into the areas of disease within the soul. And it's incredibly, incredibly powerful, because the thing is, when the dragons first started to reveal themselves to me, it wasn't like how they do now. It was through fractals. I was seeing beautiful fractals coming in. And then I understood, when I kind of stepped back and then I started to see the dragons, I was like, oh, now I see. And it was to show how their energy is. It is all about that. And for healing work, when you see it like that, it just makes so much sense. It makes so much sense how it's bringing unity within the soul, and that is how we heal.
It's interesting because I don't do, I sometimes do healing on people, but I'm a designer, and for me it's all started with, sometimes you hear a song that goes through everything, and it resonates with everybody, and I was always curious, how come? What is it that makes it different? And then I understood more about the creation energies. And until recently, I found out that actually the creation energies are the same as love energies. And I'm looking into all these energies coming together in any situation, any person. I call it a person, also a situation or a container, where just the different frequencies out of unity flow together. But most of the time we don't recognize this as energies of unity, and we make interpretation in the mental state. And what I'm working on is trying to get clarity, because in unity everything is clear, to get more clarity on the energies that flow in the different dimensions, in the different levels. And the earth is also, it's also a fractal. It's in this universe is even a fractal, and you go on and you go on and you go on, but the thing that connects it all is unity in everything.
Exactly. Yeah.
Thank
Beautiful.
you for understanding.
Oh, I do. Thank you so much for for just sharing that. So powerful, really powerful.
It's exciting because a lot of time nobody really got me. Also, when I talked about it, so I was like, okay, I don't even go there. They think I'm crazy.
Don't worry
there's
about
so many things coming together. It feels like we all worked on all these puzzle pieces everywhere, and it's now time to put together all these pieces into one big picture. Exciting.
How exciting.
Thank you.
Thank you. I think Christina wants to say something as well. Thank you, Lucia. It's beautiful.
Thank you.
I'll ask her to unmute.
Yeah. Sorry about that. Trying to find the button.
That's
all
right.
right. Thank you for letting me speak on here today. I knew I was being drawn. I usually miss these when they're live, and today I seen they were like, you need to be there. And right away, Kev, they actually had me gift you something. It was time for you to have a new dragon. I've actually already created it, and it's in your energetic field. It's right here in center, and it's so funny that you guys are talking about unity. Because at first I was going to put it on the right side of your field, and then they were like, no, center, because he's in complete union. There's no right or left side. It's that balance. So I placed the dragon egg up here in your center above your head. It's a beautiful, a couple months back, I made a new higher dimensional crystal. It's called tunnelite, and it's this deep blue color, but you look in it and there's like a million different facets of blue colors. It's breathtaking. You have the third dragon ever created. They've been having me make them this week like crazy, but yours is the second that is actually a diamond and tunnelite dragon. Yours is paired with diamond. I have the only other one. And They said its name is Rainier.
Rainier.
That dragon will be
Wow.
with you for eternity now.
Beautiful.
Wow.
My gift to
Wow.
you.
Oh,
And
thank you. Wow.
yes,
I've got goosebumps all down my legs.
it's a beauty too. You're gonna like this one. It's pretty stunning and breathtaking, and the energy on it is incredible. Lucia, you were so on point with everything, and your light language was beautiful. It was so beautiful. Right now, what's going on? Like things have shifted big time. The architects have returned to the planet. There are 6 of us embodied. There are other ones outside that are not embodied here. We completed the ascension of the planet, and everybody on the planet agreed to ascend. So right now, these lands are calling us. They're wanting to connect. They're wanting to share this information. If you are feeling that pull somewhere, that land is ready to connect with you and share what it holds. Um, it's a very powerful time. They're also drawing us all together. Right now, they have me always with this vision and this passion of building our communities. It is time. It is time for us to come together. The thing is, what most people are striving and working so hard to try to get their frequency to every day, it becomes something natural and instantaneous when you're around other high vibrational people. So can you imagine the impact we will make when we all start coming together and living in these communities? I love it. One of the people in my team, one of the other architects, she's, the builder of living cities. This is something coming to us back where we are living in these crystalline structures. They are our home. They are living beings and they are a part of us and we live within them. So that's something returning to the planet that they've been inspiring. Me, I am the Dragon Bridge Keeper. I am here as the protector of the elders and the children's and bringing forth the secret passages between dimensions. So many of you, I feel there's somebody else on here that's an architect on this call. I don't know, but that's just what they're telling me now. You're being called as well. It is time and the lands are calling to you. We are all needing to go there and connect in and remember what we once knew and what's ready to come back to us now.
Wow.
Beautiful.
Oof.
Beautiful message. Thank you.
Thank you.
I think we all
Thank you.
received
Really
that.
beautiful to connect to you as well. Yeah.
Wow.
My phone has died.
So many messages, so much power. Beautiful. I'm slightly gobsmacked now.
Okay, what's going on here?
I think it's great. I think the dragons are taking over. Well, we've got a few minutes left for you, Casca. Is there anything you would like to share? I'm going to put in your Facebook and web so people can find you. But is there anything else that you would like to share?
Kev, I feel like I would like to just share some of my dragon voice before I leave. I feel like today when I went into the mountain, I was actually using my dragon voice and I was using it inside. I wasn't actually verbalizing it. And I really feel like I would like to just kind of bring that out tonight, share it with all of you as I'm kind of connecting into the ground here, so that we are connecting as a group, as well as connecting into the grids here as well. And then I will just to share some of the energy with you. So yeah, I'd like to just finish off like that, if that's okay with you guys.
Perfect.
Okay. So I just invite you all now to gently close your eyes. Just bring your awareness to your breath, taking 2 lovely deep breaths right down into your tummy. Take a 3rd deep breath in. And on the out breath, just connect to the ground and feel your connection to the ground. And just breathe into that connection. Connect to your whole body now, feeling the density of your whole body. And now take your awareness out, moving into your energy field, Start to feel the air surrounding your physical body. Take your awareness out and just breathe into that space now. Just calling in this energy. Niakia shaka matui nakia hatatai nakia mataya. Hunakia taima shakia tikia taya. Mukutia tama hatatai kiama utikia takia. Just breathing into the throat chakra now. Hikia matai nakunu ikia tai takiata. And just taking awareness up to the crown now, just expanding the crown. Hikia ni mimikia tai tai tikia naka. Shikia utumukia tataya. And just breathing into the heart center. Kiki makakaya katataya atakiata. Hikiata kakaya takatakaya katataika. Take a really nice deep breath in. I just send you all so much love from my heart to your heart. Thank you so much for just sharing this space with me today. Thank you. Just take another nice deep breath in and just bring your awareness back now into the here and the now.
Wow. Sending you lots of love.
Thank you, Kev. It's always such a pleasure to be in space with you.
Come on, everyone. Press those heart buttons. Send lots of love to Casca and South Africa and the land, and the ancestors, all the beings there.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
It's a lovely
I
comment.
really feel so honored to share this with you all tonight. It's such a big deal.
Thank you for sharing. It came through beautifully.
Thank you.
I know you've got family and some children to look after, so
We do.
you can't hang around with us. It's a shame, but I'm sure we'll have you back and enjoy the rest of your
Thank
trip
you.
there.
And Draco, I'm sending you so much love, and I will reach out to you tomorrow. I'm sending you all so much love, and I'm sorry that I can't be with you for the duration of this, but my babies are waiting, and I've got to go and have a snuggle with them now and get them to bed. Okay, take care, everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you very much.